yesterday watched the Rise of Skywalker movie, and yeah, it didn't disappoint me. Um, I like how it ended. If you haven't watched the movie, this is where I tell you to go watch the movie, and just don't continue watching it. This video, so go away, buzz off. All right, for those that have, I just want to say, all right, Emperor Palpatine's been busy behind the scenes. Rey's accent makes a lot of sense now, and that in the movie it is revealed very early on that Rey is more than what she knows or what other people know. And we come to the realization that she is Emperor Palpatine's granddaughter, and he actually says it in the couple of last scenes. So it makes you wonder, okay, what happened to the kids? And how does this relate to the Sith concept of there can only be two? There's some rules. There can only be two Sith Lords. It's ridiculous, That said, Star Wars land is full of contradiction, but that's where the conflict is, I guess. I mean, can there eventually be a new type of order? Not the final order, not the last order, but a type of good guys that can utilize both the light and the dark and keep it all in balance. It's like the bad guys, they have the planet-destroying weapons. The closest thing we have today is people, well, in Earth society, is countries with nukes. Take, for instance, the United States of America, and other various countries like China, Russia, Great Britain, India, Pakistan, etc. They're more used as deterrents than actual use. People don't use, countries try not to use them. Like in the House of Cards series, there's this Russian president that comes in and he's like, we like the Lexus. By the Lexus, it's a particular brand, Toyota's luxury car brand, Lexus. And yeah, people like the good stuff in life. So anyway, going back to Star Wars, why isn't there good guys with the planet-destroying star destroyers or something like that? I think that would be interesting. So imagine if you had fleet battles with these ultra-powerful weapons. I'm getting thoughts of Robotech scenes where, you got the SDF-1 with its massive cannons blasting away at space vessels, giant space vessels. Imagine Death Stars or special type of ships just blasting each other. Sometimes space dominance doesn't have to always be about destroying planets. Maybe an idea for future Star Wars is set 1,000 years later after the whole last trilogy. That would be awesome to explore. And, you could have people like Luke Skywalker immortalized in statues. Here's the bad guys remembered. No history has been wiped out. People have recognized both sides, and the good guys are in control of the dark side. to be, you know, so a balanced approach. Good guys, but balanced, okay? But in that world, there should be, yeah, you've got bad guys, and then good guys who turn bad. And so you could have a new empire in turmoil, and yeah, you know. Anyway, they're just some thoughts. But anyway, it is interesting that Rey is a Palpatine. Very interesting indeed. They could have explored all sorts of things. I thought the ending was funny where she puts two lightsabers back on Tatooine, and I was thinking to myself, you know, this location could be the perfect world to start training new Jedi. Now, the fact that Rey and Solo had a romantic moment before Ben Solo passed away, that opens up new opportunities for family-centric Force users. And there should be, you know, this concept explored, saying that the celibacy of the Jedi Knights made them too rigid, perhaps. Kind of like the Catholic Church, I don't know. The problem with the Sith Lords is they weren't inclusive. They always had to destroy other Sith Lords because they couldn't handle the power. So why isn't there a balanced load approach? Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, they're concepts to think about, right? Yeah. What would I like Star Wars to be in the future? Like the first ever, mate, George Lucas, his first film was called A New Hope. So that's something to think about. Well, in today's society, people are talking about life extension technology, ending cancer, these sort of things. And one concept that I came across is this idea of time travel and people in the future being bored. One of the probably great evils is people feeling negative energies in a state of boredom and not discovering hobbies and all sorts of lovely activities to fill their time up. I know if I achieved immortality, I'm not going to be going out there by choice blasting away people. I'd want to, you know, write stories, write novels, explore the universe. If I had all the time in the world, you know, like watching people die, they do not want to leave this world, really. Deep down, they really don't. You know, my father, just before he was passing away, was practicing karate. You know, one time that really hit me home was he was cleaning the kitchen like furiously. It was a sense of desperation that he really didn't want to go. He really didn't want to go. I felt he was robbed in this life of many opportunities and things like that. But that's the problem when we live on a finite planet and social policies affect us deeply, instituted by governments because they've been listening to the emotions, thoughts and feelings of people go, oh, climate change. Yeah, you know, they're not thinking in abundance. And a lot of people aren't thinking in an abundance because there's a lot of, you know, media hype and, you know, vitriol and all this sort of stuff. And, you know, anyway. Back to Star Wars. It's easy to go on tangents. It really is. Um, go watch it if you haven't watched it. I don't want to spoil it all. But yeah, you know, seeing Star Destroyers rising out of the waters, I just see there's potential for more goodness in the future. And, I mean, me at a personal level, there's this great game called Star Citizen. It's about epic space battles. You buy your own spaceships. You have your own command center. You can control fleets. You can build bases on massive planets. So, if the future is space, we need to think more galactically, not just, one planet. Because I've noticed a tendency in movies to just, okay, here's planet Earth. We're seeing cities destroyed. How about we expand upon this thing? How about, well, actually, I'm just coming to think about Star Trek. Sometimes they talk about defending quadrants and things like that. Why not explore quadrants? Now that I come to think about it, I'm just thinking about the game TIE Fighter. If you ever get a chance, look into TIE Fighter. It's an old game. 90s game from memory. There was a follow-up to that, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, and also X-Wing, which at the same time was also this game called Wing Commander, Wing Commander 2, Wing Commander 3, Wing Commander 4, etc., which 3 and 4 and 5 had Mark Hamill of the Luke Skywalker fame. So, please, anyone out there, you're my only hope if you're the creator, But anyway, if not, it's all good. What else is there? Yeah. Any final thoughts? I'm just trying to think. What was interesting was the what's that? The stormtrooper, the black fella. His name is escaping me right now. But anyway, while we got a sense that he had force abilities because he started to detect things in a Star Destroyer. So yeah, it would be good to explore that avenue. I think maybe that's where Disney is going to, because I got a sense of that when playing this what do you call it? The Star Wars what is it? It's a game. It's a game. My friend recently bought it. I forgot what it's called, but yeah. And the Mandalorian, you get force-sensitive children or aliens and human children that are force-sensitive, and they're being hunted down. So, I think creators, I want you to explore the future. I want you to think humanity is destined to become a multiplanetary species, and I believe we'll become multi-solar system things. We've got to think in this thing. Imagine if we were Star Wars space colonists. What does that look like? Anyway, I think there's a lot more potential for growth in Star Wars, and who knows? It might help our future generations think about things more constructively and positively. I think Star Wars has done a lot for people. I think it's given people a lot of ideas, thoughts and ideas. Let's continue on this path.